Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Caribbean Spot, where we expose the truth they don't want you to know. This is episode 1 of our exclusive series on the Alfa Nero yacht scandal. A bold Antiguan move that set off international alarms. But before court cases and dollar signs, this story starts with a simple, chilling question. Why did Antigua block a $120 million yacht that wasn't breaking any laws? We're digging into what really happened in February 2022, who knew what and when, and why this single decision may expose a chain of political and economic moves that go deeper than anyone's admitting. And if you never heard about this story before, you're not alone. The Alfa Nero case has quietly been making international headlines, from ABC News to the Associated Press, and even caught the attention of US officials. At the center of it is a luxury yacht, a sanctioned Russian oligarch, and a small Caribbean nation that made a move no one expected. What began as a maritime mystery is now a full-blown legal, political, and financial scandal, and it's unfolding right here in our region. But before we get into the timeline, here's why this yacht matters. The Alfa Nero isn't just a luxury vessel. It's a 120 million US dollars super yacht tied to the inner circle of Russian power. When Russia invaded Ukraine, the US and its allies began sanctioning Russian oligarchs and seizing their assets around the world. That included villas, bank accounts, and yes, yachts. But in the Caribbean, something different happened. Instead of acting on international orders, Antigua moved first. Before sanctions and without public explanation. That decision would ignite one of the most secretive and expensive political scandals in the region's recent history. So now, we ask, was this foresight or was it a setup? So what actually happened first? In late February 2022, the Alfa Nero arrived in Falmouth Harbor, Antigua. It was widely believed to be linked to Russian billionaire Andrei Guria, but at that point, Guria was not under any US sanctions. At the time, no formal ownership claim had been submitted. But here's what makes this even stranger. The Alfa Nero hadn't been sitting there for months. It had just arrived in late February 2022, and by all reports, it wasn't under any sanctions or legal trouble at the time. So why would the owner need to submit anything? In maritime law, unless a vessel is under investigations or being detained, there's no legal requirements for the owner to file a claim. Follow along. In fact, it's actually normal practice for luxury yachts to operate through offshore holding companies to protect the owner's identity, especially when there's nothing illegal happening. So, the real issue isn't that no one came forward. It's why the government acted like they expected someone to, and why they blocked a yacht that at the time had done absolutely nothing wrong. No official sanctions had been imposed, but Antigua still blocked the yacht from leaving. This is not speculation. It was confirmed in court filings cited by the Associated Press and ABC News. So the question becomes, if the yacht wasn't sanctioned and the government supposedly didn't know who it belonged to, why block it? Why block the yacht from leaving? So let's break it down briefly so you can see how this unfolded month by month. February 2022, we have the yacht arrives in Antigua, no sanctions, no legal claim, still blocked from leaving. March 2022, Antigua declares it abandoned and seizes the yacht. Then August 2022, U.S. sanctions Korea, yacht becomes blocked property. So here's the twist. Antigua blocked the yacht 5 months before sanctions were even announced. Why? So here's the burning question. Why was the yacht stopped? And while there is no official explanation, credible analysis points to 3 possible motives. Motive number 1, anticipated sanctions. Antigua may have expected sanctions to come and choose to hold the yacht to avoid backlash for letting it sail away, especially if it ended up on a blacklist later. That's one possibility, right? Second possibility, second motive, external influence. Antigua may have received quiet pressure from foreign governments, particularly the US, to detain the vessel while ownership was under review. And the third possible motive is they knew. The most likely reason, someone in the Antiguan government already knew or strongly suspected the yacht belonged to Korea and made a move before his name was officially linked to the sanctions. Antigua's early intervention suggests a clear awareness of the yacht's ownership and the evolving geopolitical situation. It's likely that informed intelligence or private diplomatic warnings tipped off authorities. The lack of any immediate sanctions or legal wrongdoing at the time makes the detention highly unusual. So here's my conclusion. While the full motivation remains publicly unexplained, this timeline strongly suggests that Antigua knew more than it admitted and acted ahead of the world's official narrative. Before we go deeper, let me ask you watching this. If a $20 million yacht showed up in your country and your leaders stopped it with no explanation, what would you think was really going on? Drop your theory in the comments right now. I'm reading all the comments, so you guys go ahead and let me know your thoughts. And while this yacht sat idle in Falmouth Harbor, Antigua was spending over $120,000 every single month just to keep it afloat. But where exactly did that money go? And who signed off on it? That's what we'll expose in episode 2. Okay, so I have 3 possible theories, right? That raises eyebrows. And the first one is preemptive seizure strategy, where to me, I think Antigua's government may have anticipated future sanctions, right? They could have decided to hold the yacht as a strategic move, hoping to gain control later when it could be sold, right? But again, for them to do that, I'm thinking you must have insider knowledge. You must know that this yacht belongs to Mr. John or Mr. Paul, right? 2, external political pressure. Behind closed doors, Antigua may have been pressured by the US, like I mentioned before, or some other Western power to hold the yacht in place, right? To prevent it from slipping out before sanctions landed. And thirdly, What I see here is opportunism. Some believe this was a high-level opportunistic play. The yacht had no active owner making claims. I guess they did not have to make a claim because they didn't do anything illegal, right? They did not abandon their ship at the time. It was valuable, and Antigua may have been preparing to change its laws, right? Just randomly decide to change your laws, and wanted a yacht in place long enough to justify a legal seizure. So now let's talk about the silence. Antigua never explained why they blocked the yacht before sanctions. They never gave the public a detailed legal reason. And when the media asked questions, they deflected. That's not how transparency works. And it's not how public assets should be handled. Here's what we know and what you can decide. The Alfa Nero wasn't sanctioned when it arrived, and no official owner came forward. So why was the yacht blocked from leaving? Let me ask you, if you truly don't know who owns a yacht, why spend taxpayer money keeping it parked in your harbor? Why not just let it go? Let it go. That tells us one thing. Somebody in power already knew who it belonged to and made a decision to hold it, like if it's theirs. Whether that was for politics, pressure, or profit, we still don't know. But it wasn't about law, it was about leverage. This is only the beginning. In episode 2, we'll break down how Antigua spent over $120,000 per month maintaining this yacht and who paid the price. But for now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe the government really didn't know who owned the yacht? Or was this a setup from the start? Like, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe to The Caribbean Spot, because the truth is just getting started. And in episode 2, we're following the money, asking where the $120,000 a month actually went, who approved those payments, and whether public funds were spent responsibly. One thing is clear. The Alfa Nero story is far from over. And as we dig deeper, the questions only get louder. Was this about justice or opportunity? Until then, stay informed, stay bold, and stay locked in to the Caribbean Spot. See you on the next one. Bye.